Are you one of the thousands of people that bought a 6 or 9 month supply of compounded Tirzepatide? If so, you need to watch this video. You see, I've been working on this story since October, and as of today, my case is finally closed and I can speak about it publicly. Do you see this right here? This is a 9 month supply of compounded Tirzepatide that I got the opportunity to pay $2,641, which was a complete bargain. I'm pretty lucky, right? Wrong.
Afternoon or good day, folks. Thank you for joining us.
Candace Cunningham here is asking about some 503. They're offering 6 or even 9 month supplies of Tirzepatide. And what is the shelf life?
Before we get into this absolute mess, it always blows me away that 57.3% of the returning viewers to this channel are not subscribed. I have a small favor to ask you. If you enjoy this video or the work that I do here, if you could just click the subscribe button. It's a zero-cost option to support my very young YouTube channel. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Candace Cunningham. I have lost 110 pounds in less than 10 months on a GLP-1 medication while gaining 16 pounds of lean muscle mass. My channel pushes GLP-1s to their absolute maximum, utilizing math, science, peptides, and the latest technology in the space. Hit the subscribe button. It truly does help my channel. Now, let's get back into it because we have a lot to cover. Okay, so back in October, when the FDA first declared the shortage over, I found myself in a closed-door meeting with Scott Brunner, who is the CEO of the APC, the Alliance for Pharmacy Compounding. I was sitting alongside the big guys, right? Huge syndicated news outlets, Wired Magazine, Bloomberg, and I was the only content creator in that room. And quite possibly the only person in that room on a GLP-1 medication. In fact, the only name that I recognized at the time was Madison Moeller from Bloomberg, because she's fairly plugged into the space and we happen to be friends on TikTok. Mind you, this was after I had ordered a 9 month supply. So about the time that the 9 month supplies were circulating around social, people were in the comment section. I would see them here and there, and they were asking questions about how long the medication's good for, aka the BUD dates. It's important that you understand that term for the videos we're about to watch. By-use dates, basically an expiration date. Since I was invited to this meeting, it was a perfect opportunity to ask the leader himself, Scott Brunner, and a board of compounding experts directly. How would you get a more clear answer than that? So that's exactly what I did.
Turn a little bit to extending the shelf life and understanding what the shelf life is for this. So Candace Cunningham here is asking about some 503 A's, I assume, maybe. I'm not sure which, actually. They're offering 6 or even 9 month supplies of Tirzepatide. And what is the shelf life of compounded Tirzepatide? Tennille, you have schooled me in this before, but John, I see you coming off first. So
I was going to say, I think that's the Bs that are offering that because as outsourcing facilities, they are doing all the CGMP testing. So they would have, had to extend that dating and prove that, as Tennille said, that, it maintains potency over that time period of the beyond use date, the container closure integrity testing and everything else. We had to do the same, but again, as a 503A, we were making it for the shortage and following the the recipe, as Jennifer put it, for the drug. So we just used the 56 days and we did all our testing for that, assuming that we were just going to be making this for the time period until, the shortage ended. So there was no reason for us to have to extend the date beyond that. But the B would, I could see them doing that because they are making much larger batches than a 503A would make.
Tennille, would you give a quick tutorial about why 503Bs can do longer beyond use dates?
sure. But I also want to point out that she just clarified, Candace did, that she's actually talking about 503As. So can we talk about 503Bs and then now she's hearing some 503As are also doing 6 to 9 months?
Sure. 503As are state licensed compounding pharmacies, primarily regulated by state boards of pharmacy. 503Bs are regulated by the FDA. They follow different sets of standards. So 503A pharmacies follow what's called USP, or United States Pharmacopoeia standards for sterile compounding, which have limits on the beyond use date that's allowed to be put onto the product based on under the conditions in which it was compounded and the testing that's performed on the final sterile product. 503Bs have to do different kinds of testing through CGMP, or current good manufacturing practices, that prove stability and sterility over a certain time. But 503Bs are allowed to put for a 503A, the maximum beyond use date in most states. Sorry, I have a fruit fly. The maximum beyond use dates in most states is about 60 days refrigerated. There are certain states that have slightly different rules with regards to beyond use dates, but it's in general that would be the maximum BUD that's allowed to be put on a product made by a 503A pharmacy.
So, Tennille, what would you say if a 503A was offering 6 to 9 months supply? How would that?
There's certain storage conditions that can extend that a little bit. I've heard of some pharmacies freezing semaglutide to get a little bit longer dating. But in USP guidelines, 9 months would be beyond what would be appropriate for a 503A in every state that I can think of.
What the actual fuck? Did I just waste $2,750? OUSIA is BTW of 503A pharmacy.
9 months would be beyond what would be appropriate for a 503A in every state that I can think of.
There has to be some mistake. There had to been. This company couldn't just be fucking people over with medications that potentially wasn't going to be working in a few months, well after the time that they had to get a charge back from their credit card. These are not leftover pain pills that you had from a surgery a few years ago, which honestly, I would have no problem taking. Pills are shelf stable. They're not a liquid. They're not a potentially a breeding ground for bacteria. They don't have to be kept at a certain temperature or sterile, and you don't inject them into your body. The part that pisses me off is I personally know people that have take great financial risks to get their hands on a 9-month supply. With big sacrifices, $2,641 is a tremendous amount of money to a lot of people. And for a company to be taking advantage of people's desperation really bothers me to my core. So what do you do with the information, right? Well, for me, I just wanted my money back. I wanted them to take all of their unopened vials, let me ship them back to them, and return my money. And it didn't seem like an unreasonable request, or it shouldn't have been. I have a video statement from the APC. I have the USP guidelines. I have everything that I need. It should be an easy slam dunk. The company be like, oh, yeah, send us back medication. We'll give you a refund. It's no problem. Was that the case? Well, it turns out, no. Big no. Here's the email. I am under the impression that a 503A couldn't have a BUD date longer than 90 days. Can you clarify how it's supposed to stay good for 9 months? Is there some kind of exemption in Florida, or is there something else at play here? That is correct. For multi-use vials, OSHA or OUSIA pharmacy individualizes their vials for monthly uses of the BUD date for longer because you're discarding each vial after the 4th injection. Thank you for your response. However, my understanding is this extends beyond Florida Board of Pharmacy's USP 503A guidelines for injectable medication. Can you please clarify that this medicine will remain safe and remain at its potency beyond the guidelines set by the USP, United States Pharmacopoeia? This one got me super angry. It says, our OUSIA pharmacy abides by those regulations of the 503A. If you would like to reach out to them directly to address your concerns, please do so, as they have more information than what I have provided. They're located in Spring Hill, Florida. Didn't give me the name, didn't give me the phone number, not a point of contact, nothing. Just Google it. Fuck. Thank you for your response. However, it doesn't help much. I attended a meeting with Scott Brunner, name drop, the CEO of the Alliance for Pharmacy Compounding this week. During that meeting, I got asked for clarification on the BUD dates with my prescription. I have attached you a video of the discussion of the month's supply and for your review. I believe it will provide additional context regarding the BUD practices in question and may assist you in addressing my concerns more effectively. And then I just get a random text. I don't know the answer. Of what? This is from the telehealth. So nothing. I hear nothing from them from October 18th to November 13th. November 13th, I emailed them again. It has been nearly 30 days since I reached out to you requesting necessary documentation on the BUD dates and safety information about my Tirzepatide order. Despite your repeated assurances, I have not received any follow-up. This delay is unacceptable and resulted in complete loss in your trust in your facility's competence and compliance with the State Board of Pharmacy standards and USP. Given the lack of response, transparency, and accountability, I formally request a refund. The medication remains unused and its original packaging, and I do no longer feel confident in its safety. Please confirm processing of my refund at your earliest convenience. I understand the situation is frustrating, Candace. I'm here to help you. I'll forward your request for a refund to our support team. Please provide your email address for a prompt response. It's clear you do not have proper communication that I would expect a telehealth company to have with your pharmacy. This is about safety. I've already ordered my Tirzepatide elsewhere. I can never get that damn word right. When will you? I say it every day too, but the problem is I've been saying it wrong forever. It's like the other one, nuclear. I always screw that one up too. When will you process my refund? And do you need me to ship the box back to you? It is unused. If so, please provide me your address. Candace, this is blah, blah, blah. I apologize for the delay. I CC'd you in the email with the pharmacy regarding my initial attempt. So you're telling me your initial attempt was way back a month ago and you haven't got a response from your own pharmacy and you're still writing out scripts like a goddamn print press? That you don't see maybe a potential problem with that? And that's the day that what was the date on that? The 13th. And then, so if you look on, here's my credit card statement from American Express. My dispute opened November 13th of 2024. I gave them over a month to get their shit together. And in that time, they couldn't get a hold of their pharmacy either. If you found yourself in a similar situation, write those emails as if they will be read in court one day. Right? That's how you need to address these emails. Copy this video if it helps you. Do whatever you need to do. Send them a link to this video. But this is unexcusable on a different level. I didn't want to bring the drama to the community. The community brings its own drama all the time. I just don't think that this is right on so many levels. How do you operate a business and you're a doctor and you're prescribing medication to tens of thousands of people and you can't get communication with your own pharmacy and you don't see anything wrong with that and you just keep turning out the scripts, printing that money? It irritates me so bad because I know that some people charge this on a debit card and they didn't use a credit card or it's been longer than the processing time and they're just shit out of luck. Do I think that this is not real Tirzepatide? I don't know. I could send it to a lab and get it tested and probably use it if it turns out to be Tirzepatide. It's not the point, though. We don't know. That is not the point, at least for me. The problem that I had is I believe there's probably like an 80% chance this is real, pure, gonna test well on a spectrometer Tirzepatide. The problem that I have is it gonna be stable and not break down in the refrigerator for 9 months? Will this still have the potency in a few months? And is it still gonna work? And that we just don't know. I encourage you to get this particular video out because we're running on a real small window of opportunity of people that might have chargebacks going and might need this information on how to navigate the situation. My claim is 100% successful as of today. My heart goes out to anyone that was affected by this. Get the word out. I hope this information helps. And remember to subscribe.